Greetings web dev warriors. In this video we're going to create this entire products page which is responsive. It is working both in light and dark mode, and we have filtering functionalities. So if we want to search here, for example, for these vibrant runners or vibrant pink classic sneakers, we can type in here vibrant and we are instantly getting the results and re-rendering inside of our application. We are using in this application the real API, so this is not the dummy data, this is actually coming from some API, and we have also Pagination up and running and it's working smoothly and it's re-rendering instantly after we change it. And also we have all the parameters saved here inside of our URL, so you can just copy and paste and share your results to anyone you want. As always, you have this code available on a public GitHub repository and you have this repo in the description below. And smash that like button if you like this kind of content to help me create more videos for you. So now let's build this thing. First thing we need to do is to install a fresh copy of Next.js application. And for that, I'm going to run npx create next app latest inside of my projects directory, and I'm going to call my project Orcish products. And we're going to use default for everything. So yes for TypeScript, yes for ESLint, yes for Tailwind CSS. We're not going to use sources directory, app router, TurboPack for Next.dev environment, and we are not going to customize the import alias. So now everything is being installed for us and it's done. Nice. So now I'm going to Orcish products directory and there I'm going to run pnpm dev. So now here in our browser we can go to our localhost 3000 and here we can see that we have our application up and running. Now we can go to our terminal and from here I'm going to open the cursor editor for our code. Here it is. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger so you can see. Nice. And we can start installing all the dependencies that we need. First thing is, as always, Shadcn. So we are going to the Shadcn documentation. Here we are going to get started, installation, Next.js, and then we are going to run this pnpm dlx Shadcn latest init command. So we're opening here our terminal and I'm pasting in the initialization of Shadcn. So now we're going to choose New York style, stone color, yes for CSS variables, and we are going to force everything for React 19 that we need. Voila, that's it. So now we have our Shadcn installed, and next thing we need is to add a couple of components. So I don't know exactly what are we going to use, but I know that we need definitely this button, we need a card, and we need input for our search, and we need also select box. So I'm going to install these four for now. So this one is installing it. We're going to force everything for React 19 and it should be fast. There it is. So now we have our button, card, input, and select. And if we check here our components directory, we can see all those components. Now we can already build some mockup of our products page. So I'm going to open the default page here from Next.js and I'm going to delete everything from here. So we're going to create a completely new page. Let's say this hello world. And here I'm going to put flex column, then gap of 10, something like that. Then we are going to put, yes, just like this, justify center, and we're not going to put full height screen, but we are going to put maximum width of, let's say maybe 6XL and MX auto, so we can put everything on the middle. And then we need here from the documentation, we're going to components, and here I'm going to search for the card. Here it is. So I'm going to take the usage of this card and put it inside of our page. So we can put just multiple card components to see how it looks, to fill it a little bit. And I'm going to copy paste also this card from here and I'm going to place it below our header tag. So this one we are going to call awesome products, like this. And let's see how does this look. So we're going here, we have our big card and we have our tag here. So we want a little bit of padding. We also want a grid of these products. So here I'm going to create a new div and wrap up this card component, and here we're going to put just like this. So grid columns 1, grid columns 2, after medium, after large, grid columns 3. We are even going to add grid columns 4, so we can have 4 columns for 4 products, and it's now looking like this. So this is good. The plan is basically to have here filters. So here we can have search filter and also limiting by products per page. Then here we want to have all of our products, and in the end here we want our pagination. So that's the plan. Let's see what are we going to do. First thing I wanted to do is the dark mode, because I know how many of you don't like the light mode and this flashbang white screen. So we're going again inside of the Shadcn documentation, and here we are going to dark mode Next.js, and we are going to add next themes. So I'm adding that one to our list of dependencies, and that one is now being installed. Here it is, done. So we can now go and add our theme provider inside of our components directory here. So I'm creating theme provider.tsx, and I'm copy pasting the entire thing. And now we need to add it inside of our layout. So we're going to our layout file, and here we are wrapping up our children like this. Here it is, importing the theme provider, and only thing left is to add this mod toggle. So copying that one also, we can see the code here. We are copying that one and we are adding it inside of our UI directory, mod toggle.tsx, and I'm pasting that one also. So we can see that we are missing the drop down menu. We are going to our old commands, this one, and we are going to add drop down menu. So that's one component that we missed when we were installing everything. So now it should be good. We don't need this moon icon, and everything looks good. So we can now create a header. I'm creating a header component inside of our components directory, and we're going to create something simple. So that one is going to be header tag like this, and we can just add flex, justify, and little bit of padding like this, and we're going to put in the mod toggle component. Nice. So now inside of our layout we are adding here the header component, and everything looks good. So let's see if it's working. So here we have now a problem because we added a bunch of dependencies. We are running again our script, and now it should be good. Nice. Refreshing the page, and now we have an error, and this is awesome moment to show what is this error. So now we have dark mode. As you can see, we can change from light to dark, so that one is working nice. But we have here our hydration error, and this is, I even opened a ticket for this on Shadcn GitHub, and basically the solution is here in HTML to add this suppress hydration warning, and that one is removing the error. That's not really a great solution, but we can talk about that in some of our next videos. This is a solution for now, and that's the official solution, so you can do that. Now when we finished our dark mode, we can actually start getting products from some API. And for that one I chose this Platzi Fake Store API because it's simple, it has nice images, and we can filter out easily with this API the results. So we are going to copy this API URL that we need to use for their products, and here inside of our root directory we are going to create a server folder, and inside products.ts. So here we are going to create our server actions. So we are going to mark this one as use server. And now we can just export the async function get products. And here we can see that it is already using this fake API. It's because I used it before. And basically what we are doing is we are fetching the product's results, we are turning them to JSON, and we are just sending them back to our component. So now we need to open here our page, and we need to turn this function into an async function like this. So this is our server component, and here we are going to fetch all the results that we need. And now here we are going to get products like this. So we are going to call get products from our server action like this. And now here we have our products. Now we can check inside the fake API how does the response look. So here we see that we have an ID, title, price, description. So we're going to create an interface for this, and we're going to create inside the components. I'm going to create a shared directory, and there I'm going to create types, and inside the types index.ts. So there we are going to put everything, like all the types that needs to be shared. So we can call it both on the backend on server actions or on the front end. And here we're going to create interface product. Here it is. So we have ID, number, title, string. That one looks good. And let's export it. Then we have price, description, and category. I think category is not good because yes, so category we have inside the ID and name, and we also have array of images. So here we're going to put ID, name, image, and images like this. And now I think it looks good. I don't know if we need anything else, but that's it. Nice. So now inside of our products here, we can return the promise of these products. So now on our page, when we go our mouse over our products, we can see that we are getting our product interface, and we can now choose to do whatever we want inside of our card. So now we can map here through our products. So for each product, we are going to display like this one card. So I'm wrapping up this card inside of our products. Here we need to put product ID for our key, and let's just put name and description to see how it looks. Is it title or name? I don't know. It's title. So let's see. Now we have bunch of cards, so we are definitely getting something from our API and we are displaying it. So now we just need to make it nice. This is now a good moment to separate this whole logic to a new component. So I'm going to copy this card, and inside the components I'm going to create a new file, call it productcard.tsx, and there I'm running RFC. So here product card component, and I'm going to paste in the card. Nice. And now we just need to import the card components inside of our product card. Then we need an interface for our props. So interface product card props, and we are putting it inside of our product card component. We are importing that one from our shared types. I'm going to move that to the top of the file to separate it from other imports. And now we can just use it on our page. So here I'm removing this card entirely, and I'm adding the product card, where we are adding our key and our product. So each product is going to our product card, and we are just displaying it in a different place. So now we can control everything inside of a smaller component, and this one is resulting in looking much better. I'm just going to move this one also to the top of the file. Nice. So now we can start working basically on the design of our product card component. So first thing we need is the image. We're going to put it in the card header like this here. So it's going to be next image, and we're going to put, so here we have product images, and it's going to be the first image, and we have our title as our alt. That's good. So let's just see if it's working. It's not, because we need to add to our next configuration we need to add this domain. So we are going to our next.config.ts, and here we are adding not like this images domains, but images, and then yes, remote patterns. Host name is going to be this one, and we need protocol to be HTTPS. So now it should work. Let's see. We have some errors. So it's that the URL constructor is not a valid URL. For some reason, I had this problem before. It's returning like array within an array. And what are we going to do is in our product card, here we are going to create an image URL, and that one is going to be this product images and the first element of the images array. And now we're just going to check here if it starts with HTTP like this, and in that case we are just going to return like this one. So we are going to return the image, and if not, we are going to use the absolute path. So here we are going to replace it with image URL, and let's see if it's working now. So now, awesome, we have the images and they're really nice. So we now need to remove this padding. I'm going to do it from the card first, and then from the card header. Let's see how is it looking now. Okay, nice. We just need to style up a little bit these images. So here for our image, we are going to put like this with full, height full, and object cover. So let's see now, how does it look? Nice. We're just going to put the rounded on top to large, and now it's literally just like merged to our card, and we just need to add the padding below. So this description, we're going to move it to our card content, and here we need to put a div and to wrap up this title, and we're going to put yes like this. So we are putting the padding so we can move it a little bit. It needs to be more, it's I think 6 down there in the content, like this. So now we have our title, we have the description, and it's already looking much better. I don't know why is it in 3 columns. I think we placed here, it disappeared somehow, maybe I didn't save it. It should be 4 columns after Excel. Like this. Nice. So now we have more products in 1 column. We just need to add here more things. So we need to remove this card content, and then here inside of our footer we are going to put a button, add to card, this one, and here we are going to put a shopping cart icon from Lucid, and that one is going to be size 4 like this. Let's see how does it look. Nice. We're just going to put here inside of our card flex column, and then justify between like this. So we are pushing all the add to cart buttons on the bottom, and then we have here, we can see that now everything is being spread so evenly, like the title, description, and then add to cart button. We need to also fix that. For starters, we can make this description much smaller. So here I'm going to type in slice, and we are going to display maybe only 80 characters per card. So now it is much smaller, and we can display it if we go to products page, like the whole description. So we can now display the price also. We can do it above the description. So here we are going to put our product price like this, and we can style it up. Text XL, font bold, it's going to stand out. Nice. So we have now also our price. We can put here a little bit of gap between the price and the description, and now every card is looking exactly the same. The height is the same, and I would just maybe here in our footer add flex and justify, and to put the button on the right side like this. Nice. So we could add now also category here as a badge. So I'm going to add a new component, and it's called badge. And we're just going to add here the category name for each of our product. That should be easy. We're just going to create our header to be relative, and then here we are going to add a badge and import it not from Lucid React, but so here we have product category name like this, and we are going to import our badge from the UI badge, and it's going to be absolute, then top 0 and left 2. So let's see how does it look. Here it is. We're just pushing it a little bit, the image, from some reason. We need to fix that. It's probably something silly, so let's just replace the badge and the image. Yeah, there it is. So now it's looking nice. I don't know why this furniture BLN category is looking ugly like this, but that's coming from the API. We are not going to change that one, and we would just maybe need to add a little bit of some nicer colors. So we are going to our themes, and we are just going to copy this code from here and go to our globals CSS, and I'm going to replace this whole layer base, and now we should have, yes, much better theme. So now we have button colors and the badge color, and if we change to light mode, it also looks nice. So I think that we are ready to start filtering our data. So we are going to create a new component inside our components directory, and we are going to call it products filter.tsx. So here we are creating a new products filter component, and we are going to put in, first thing is going to be an input, and that one is going to be used for the search. So like this, I'm going to put it inside of our page above. So here, products filter, above our products list and below our awesome products title. So now we can check it out. We have the search here. So that one is okay. Then we want to add our select box. So I'm searching here inside the components for the select, and I'm just going to check the usage, how to put it in. So I'm copy pasting it inside of our products filter component, and here we are just going to put in the select after our input, and this is for our per page limit. So here we are going to say per page, and we are going to put 10, 20, 30, and maybe even more, like 40 and 50, like this. Let's see how is it now looking. So it's not good, it's one below each other. We need to put it in a flex, and we're going to put justify between. We don't need a gap because one is going to be on the left side, the second one on the right side, and here it is. We are just going to put it inside the div. So each element should be inside the div because this is the full width, and that's why it's looking ugly as it is. So we are putting it like this, and now we have it looking normal. So here we can choose like how many elements we want per page, and here we can search for anything we need. Now we need to move all these parameters, so this search here and also this per page parameter, inside of our URL. And to do that, we are going to use this awesome tool, Nuqs. So it's a tape-safe search param state manager for React. If you watch my channel, you know already about it. I really love it, and it's really easy to use. So we are going to use it same like here. So this one we are going to use for our search. So inside of our filters, we are adding the use client, and this is the first time we are actually creating a client component inside of this video. And here we are going to use search, and here set search with our use query state. So first we need to add, of course, pm add Nuqs like this, and we're adding it. There it is. Awesome. And now we can actually add use query state from Nuqs and import it like this. Nice. So now we can actually change our search, and default is going to be nothing, is just going to be empty. And here on our input, we're just going to do a value search, and on change, we're going to set search to whatever it is inside of our input. So let's test it out. So here now in our local host, we need to add an adapter. I forgot about that. So we are going to the documentation again, and when we go to adding it, installation, and then adapters, here we can see that we need to add the Nuqs adapter inside of our layout file. So here I'm adding it inside of our layout file, and I'm just going to wrap up everything with the adapter here like this. Nice. And now it should work. So let's see, it's working. And if we start typing here something, we can see that here it's changing to something. I don't know why it's per page. I thought I placed it. Yeah, it should be search like this. Nice. So now if we again refresh it, I'm going to delete this URL, and if I start searching for something, it's just going inside in the same moment. So that's really awesome. Then for the other thing that we need here, we need to put as integer our second parameter, and that is our per page. So we're going to call it per page and set per page like this, and we're just going to use this parse as integer like this, and 10 is going to be the default value. So now here on our select, we're going to put on value change to set per page, but the problem is that Shadcn is working with strings, so we need to set that it's going to be a number when we set it, and when we put it inside of our select, it's going to be a string. So now here when we change from 10 to 20, then here inside we are changing per page to 20, and same if we put 30, then we are getting 30. So we are getting parameters inside of our URL, and now we can actually use it for our API to return different results based on our filtering. And now we actually need to catch these parameters on our server side. So to do that, here on our page, we need to catch our results here from our URL search parameters and send them to our backend. And to do that, Nuqs has one really cool feature, and that's server-side usage. So basically what we need to do is just to get all the parameters from the backend side and just send them to our server action. So here we are just going to create a new search params. I'm going to create it here inside the app directory, search params.tsx, and we are going to paste this part from the Nuqs server. Here it's going to be search and it's going to be per page. So we are importing both from Nuqs like this, and we are just going to send it to our page. So now, as you can see here, they're just using it in the page with load search params, and they're just exporting them like this, spread with the spread operator inside the component. So we are going to do the same thing basically. So inside of our page here, I'm putting in the load search params, and here we are just going to say search and per page is going from the load search params, but not like this. If we check the documentation, we can see that it is using a totally different way. So it's using the load search params, and then it's putting this type search params from Nuqs server. So we need to do the same thing. So it's like this. We need to await load search params like this. And now we just need to pass the props, this one, and it's going to work automatically. So here we are putting in our search params and we are sending them as our page props. And there it is. So now we have our search, which is a string, and our per page, which is a number, and we are just going to send them here in our products. And for this, we're going to create a new interface, get product params, and it's going to be a search and this per page. And we need to see now how is it being used inside of this fake store API. So we're going to filter products, and we just need to send it like this, like the title inside of our URL. So like this, but it's going to be dynamic. So we are putting our title to be search, and I don't know if it's called limit. Let's see, where is it? Do we have somewhere the pagination? Maybe it's here. Here it is. So it's, yes, it's limit. So that one is good. And we are going to add offset later with pagination on the bottom of the page. So this one should now basically work. Let's try it out. So we are going to our page. I forgot to send the parameters to the backend. So here we can also put this one to be optional. And now on our page here, we actually need to send these, and let's see now. Okay, so we don't have anything. That's a good sign. Let's delete it and refresh the page. Now we have, so let's try this chic. I'm typing in chic and then refreshing again. It's working. So we have our filtering working. It's just not working in the same moment when we type in. So we need to add that feature as well. Let's just try this limiting. So we are limiting by 10. And that one is not working as I see it. We have a bunch of products. So it's probably because we are missing the offset. So let's go to the products here and we are going to add, so it's offset equals 0. Let's try it out now. So I'm refreshing, and yes, now we have 10 items. So we just need to implement whole pagination feature in order to work normally. And let's add now quickly fast re-rendering after each search or changing the per page, and then we are going to add pagination. So to revalidate all of these results, we are going to use unstable cache from Next.js, and this one is going to be replaced by use cache, but I'm not using use cache still while it's experimental. I'm just going to use unstable cache because this is for something simple. So what we need to do is to use the unstable cache in order to create a tag, and then we are going to revalidate that tag. So we are going to import unstable cache here for our products. So now what are we going to do is here we are going to create a new getProducts method, but we are going to use unstable cache from Next.js this time. And to do that, we are going to do exactly the same thing. So we are calling, I'm going to delete this function from above. We are calling everything the same. So we are calling the same API URL, doing the same JSON methods and returning the data. But this time we have this tag products. And this allows us to revalidate this cached data and to re-render it on our project. So now we are going to call this same getProducts method, but this time upgraded with unstable cache, and we can do revalidation whenever we like. So now if we go to our project, we can see that it's still working. We are getting all the data, but this time with our revalidate cache. And now on our page, we can just go here and we are missing here the returning type, and it should be here, the promise product. We deleted that one. So we need to have the right types. Now it's good. And now here we can create one simple function that is going to be called refetch products, like this. And it's going to be a server method, and it's going to use revalidate tag from the Next.js cache. And now when we call this one, we are revalidating our products all over again, and it's going to lead to re-rendering. Now we can put this refetch products inside of our products filter, send it there, and here we are going to create a new interface, product filter props. So we have our refetch products method, and what are we going to do is here we're going to create handle, not refetch products, but handle search, for example. And there we're going to set search and then refetch the products right after the search. So here we are putting the handle search instead of this on change here. And we are just going to put a little bit of, let's just say 300. So this is basically a debounce. A proper debounce should be added. We can talk about debounce in some of my next videos. And we are going to do the same thing here for per page change. So here doing exactly the same, and we are going to change it in the select. So now we can try it out, and here when we try to, let's search for this futuristic, so F-U-T, and I think it's working nice. I just don't know why it's not showing these first. Oh, because the API changed something. Okay, let's try now for this chic. So C-H-I. It's working. It's working like in the same moment when we are searching for our results, and it should probably work for this one. So if I change to 20, it should be automatic. Now we have more than 20. Some are not working, but that's the API problem. So we have everything live and it's working asynchronously. We are revalidating our data in the moment when we are searching. And the one last thing left is the pagination. For that, we are going to use again from Shadcn the pagination component, this one. So we are going to add that one quickly inside of our terminal. I'm adding the pagination component and it's used like this. So inside of our code, in our components directory, we're adding a new file. We're going to call it products pagination.tsx, and I'm pasting the importing of pagination components. Here we're adding the products pagination name, and now we're just going to copy paste this entire thing from Shadcn and put it inside of our component. This one is also going to be a client component because we are going to use Nuqs, and we are now just going to import it here below, here just below the products list, and we can now check if it's looking good. So in our app we can see that it is below. We just need to add a little bit of padding. We could also maybe add here something like py10 to add a little bit on the bottom and a little bit on the top too. So this one is now good. Now we need to implement here our actual pagination. So we are going to our pagination here, and we're going to add the same thing like here. So it's not per page, it's going to be the offset. So here it's going to be offset and set offset like this, and we're adding parse as integer and use query state from Nuqs. We can do it like this probably, and we're putting it to the top above the other imports. We need here also the handle offset change, which is going to set our offset, and we are going to add there also the same thing like for our filters. We are going to add the refetch products. So here we are going to add the interface for product pagination props. We are adding the refetch products, and here we are doing the same thing. We are debouncing and doing the refetch products so we can re-render all of our products. And now here, for each pagination item, we are going to add a custom button from Shadcn also, and we are going to do the handle offset change. So here for our previous, I think we need a chevron icon here, chevron left, not chevron down, but chevron left, this one, and we need to say previous. We're going to put the size of 4 for this one, and that one is going to the offset that is -1 from our current offset. Then next button should be our previous page. So here I'm going to put exactly the same button, just without this icon. And here we are going to have offset -1. So this is basically, if we are on page 5, this is going to be 4. And all of these, so these two, they're only if offset is bigger than 0. So we need to put the fragments. So here we have this one item and second item. So here and here we are finishing with our condition. So this one should be good. We are showing the previous button only if we are not on the first page. And then here we have this button, which is going to be plus, like this. And here we are putting plus, and let's test it out. So let's see if it looks good. So here we have only number 1. That is not looking good. So let's see, on which page are we? Oh, okay, so we were on page 0 and now we are on page 1. So we don't want this ellipsis. We can put, or maybe we can just use it, but I want to show on which page we are currently, and that one is going to be like this. We're just going to put it to be disabled like this, and now we can show, yes, so now we are basically on page number 1, and then we can go on page number 2, 3, etc. So this one is looking good, except I don't see that anything is changing. We are still not sending the offset. Let's just delete this ellipsis from here. I don't like that one. And now we can just change, so we don't have number 0. We need to display it to be 1, because it's not working like that. It's working like that in the offset in the backend, but we don't want it to look like that for the users. That should be fixed if we just put here default to be 1, and also here offset should be like this. And now, yeah, now it's number 1, here 2, 3. So now it's looking good, and we can just transform it when we are sending it to the backend. So we can now go to our page, and here for our load search params, we are going to add a new param offset, and default is going to be 1, but here we are going to send it as offset, and then here we're going to create a variable. So transformed offset is going to be offset -1. So here we are getting our offset, and then here we are just sending our transformed offset. So here inside of our products, we need to put a new offset parameter, and we are sending it also here. And instead of this 0, we are sending our actual offset. And now I think I placed everything, so we can try it out. Here it's not defined, so I'm not passing it somewhere. Probably it should be here, so this one should be good. And oh, okay, params offset, not offset. So now let's try it out. If I go to page number 2, it's changing, so it looks good. Let's see. So here we have the vibrant. Okay, then here, okay, so I know we need to multiply it with our per page. So we are going to do it also here on our page here. So Actually, transform offset is -1, this one, and then multiplied by our per page. And now it should be good. So now if we go here and if we go to page number 2, we are getting totally different items, and we are getting to these items that are not working. If we go to 1, we are getting back, and now it's working exactly as we wanted for it to work. Hope you enjoyed the video, warriors. For more content like this, subscribe.